Hey everybody, it's Brent again. Thought I'd take you on a tour of the greenhouse and let you see what I'm doing in there. It's late in the evening on 9 December, so let's go take a look. And you can see the temperature in the greenhouse, 75.3 and 61% relative humidity. Well, this is my double fawn, and it's got the thornless Primark 45s in the N3 there. And I've got some I have turnips there, excuse me. Those are Japanese turnips I talked about in the previous video. Some beets here. And I planted these final 3 just now. And you can even see the seeds on top. And this particular one is red ace beets. It's a different beet than this beet here. And I can't remember what this beet is, but I'll put it in the video. And this is Alamo turnip green leaves. It's a green turnip. It doesn't produce a turnip, or the turnip is very small and woody, so it's not very useful. I showed you that in a previous video of harvesting those. And on the end here is the second kind of spinach I have, which is called Tyee, Tyee. And I believe that's a hybrid. Over on the other pots over there, the round ones over there, I've got Bloomsdale longstanding. So I'm going to take and put some of this remaining mixture on top of these. Alright, it's been covered. Approximate depth seed requires. I want to remind everybody that this is the double fawn, and these containers are fed with 2 net cups drawing nutrient from the bottom, what I call fawn, flowing aerated wicking nutrient. In addition, I'm adding the compost now, and we'll see how that works on top of the rice hulls. Now, the rice hulls themselves, I've grown stuff in them consistently for a while. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, like here's one, just straight rice holes, and that's a good organic replacement for perlite, because they don't deteriorate hardly at all. They're mostly lignin and cellulose. So they don't break down hardly at all, or they do break down, but not very quickly. And so I added compost here. I believe they're from several different sources, mostly like tree trimmings and whatnot. Supposedly pretty controlled. Like I showed you in the previous part of the video, it's got it's well cooked, and it's been tested and all that sort of thing. So. An update on my peas. Here's the sugar snaps. They're starting to climb, you can see there. Moving on over to my carrots. They're getting taller. Looking forward to those. Mass planted leeks seem to be doing okay. There and there. And my Oregon sugar pods, not quite as fast as the sugar snaps, but still growing. You can see here that I have finished my trellis, finished all the verticals for this 10-foot section, and I also added some tensioners here, so it's nice and solid. So all that's done, all the way up to the top of the greenhouse there, and I think, if I remember correct, it's between 9 to 10 foot tall. So once these beans are done, and I have some tall runners growing like the Vortex and the Chinese red noodle bean, they should be able to run up pretty far. Anyway, that's it for the peas and the pea trellis, pea/bean trellis. These are what my turnips look like now after that harvest. You can see they're coming back pretty aggressively. And the turnips are developing nicely on there. And pretty soon I'll be harvesting all this with the turnip itself, and the greens again from there. And I'm going to let those greens, because there's no turnip involved with those, just let them continue to grow back over and over and over. One of the things I'm leaning towards is adding more compost to the mix. With this one, I thought this was rice hulls, but this is old potting mix from last year's garden. But the rice hulls that I showed you in the beginning of this video and compost together, you know, I don't know if the compost isn't finished, but is finished enough. But regardless, I went ahead and mixed it together, rice hulls with compost, and I wanted to increase the amount of organic material that the plants will grow into, not just there, but they also have the nutrient from the fawn platform coming in through the net cup. And as you can see from the turnips I just showed you, that it does provide easily enough moisture to grow things and grow them pretty well. So in keeping with adding more organic material to influence the flavor and possibly the growth of the plants, I created these planters here. And basically it's the same type of planter I just showed you, but instead I put the 4-inch drain pipe that I used with these here and did the holes. I'm going to have various forms of this, I think, and they, you know, they look kind of odd right now because there's nothing growing in them. They look kind of ugly and kind of cool at the same time, and they remind me of pill bugs or roly-polies, so I'm thinking about calling them roly-poly planters or roly-poly pots. But anyway, there are several concepts involved here. One is the increased organic material. You can see the width is quite a bit, or the height is quite a bit taller with these. The majority of it's also covered, which should help retain moisture. And there's little slits all the way through it, which hopefully will help with some air pruning. Those are my thoughts. Realistically, I'm a results-oriented type of guy, so we'll actually see when they start growing, the plants start growing in them. And I have planted these, and I took a cue from one of my YouTube friends, and I started logging these in a book. You can see there's a number here and a number there, and planted them that way. And I'll take you over to where my book is here. And now I can start keeping track of, this is the pot number, when it was planted, this will be the day that I harvest, the variety, how much it weighs. I ordered a scale off of Amazon, a hanging scale, and any notes I have. That way I can start to keep track of the production. So that's what I'm doing. I've converted some of these. Some of the vegetables don't come up. I'm pretty stingy with the seed. I don't put a whole lot in each one to ensure germination. So you can see here, this is number 13, and there's number 14 down there. And so because these didn't germinate, I planted another seed, and I started renumbering as they come along. I'll show you this butterhead lettuce. It's been growing a pretty good while, and while it's not fast, the thing is, it is growing, it is producing. And in these cooler temperatures, I've heard that and actually tasted with the turnip greens that things are quite a bit sweeter, not nearly as bitter, and I think I've found that to be true. So here's some fawn pots. Just quick glance. in the succession planting, and they're coming up. And got some celery there, some iceberg lettuce, some butter crunch lettuce, various cole crops like kohlrabi, cauliflower, and broccoli. This fawn platform, I think I showed you before, or last time, that I planted various things in it, and you can see they're starting to come up. I've got the sugar snaps, well, you can read it. They're coming up. The Oregon sugar pods are starting to come up. These are the Hurikai Japanese turnips, the Alamo turnip greens, carrots, and I didn't see anything until I was just making this, but the carrots are starting to pop through. Bloomsdale long-standing spinach there and there. Didn't expect that seed to germinate, actually. These are those beets, not the red ace, but the other ones. More greens, turnip greens, and turnip greens there and there. The Alamo greens. And that's that fawn. Today I'm going to trim up my cabbage. One of the limiting factors in growing in the pond system, evidently, is that cabbages, especially full-size cabbages, take up a lot of space, and you can see that it's crowding this one and way over into the other one, even when you space them a good bit apart. And that's just the issue with cabbages. You can buy miniature cabbages, usually a hybrid version, and they can get pricey, and I don't know how well they do either. But I've also read where you can trim the cabbages, the outer cabbage leaves. I've even read where it says that it'll promote head growth, or faster head growth. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim up these cabbages, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. Here you can see where I've trimmed some of these off. This one's pretty large, so I left this one and this other leaf over here as a balancing, because the head's getting pretty big. Still not hard, but filling in. And here's some more. Here's some leaves I'll pick up. Trimmed up some. You can see there's a whole lot more light come into the other immature cabbages and kohlrabis and cauliflowers. Trimmed up that one and that one. I'll take you around to the other side. You can see here, that's this side. Now these leaves I'm not going to waste. They're not going on the compost pile. They are going in a skillet. Now I've been told, here's the result. It's a pretty much a Walmart bag full. If I add these and some of the yellowing leaves or other leaves I didn't want. But I've been told that these outer leaves are more tough, fibrous, and that makes sense. But that they can be finely chopped and cooked, and that they are quite good that way. And so I'm going to give that a shot tonight. I'm going to shred those leaves after I wash them and cook them up. Finished up some more things here. I've got the 2 fawns with complete pots in them, reworked pots that I did before. Putting the handles over here. And I already discussed this whole fawn row. Now this one is the one I just finished. And they're numbered, and I planted most of those already. I think the last 3 I haven't done. And that's pretty much it for this complete update. And she's looking organized. looking better. If it's just warm enough to grow some really good crop, really good production, that would be great. This is Brent, signing off. Well, I'm going to try slow cooking these leaves, these cabbage leaves. You can see in there, I've chopped them up. That was a pretty heavy Walmart bag, completely full. If I had to guess, I'm thinking three pounds. Cabbage is pretty heavy, so I'll come back hopefully and take a picture of this once it's cooked down pretty good. What I've got in here is chicken stock, salt and pepper, some bell pepper, some ancho pepper cut up from the garden that I had. It's really hot and I want to add a little spice to this dish. And a little bit of vinegar. And finally some Cavender's seasoning, Greek seasoning. And so I'm going to let this cook down, stir it up a good bit, give it a taste, adjust the seasonings and see where it goes from there. I'll give this cabbage leaf thing a try. Alright, here they are cooked. Oh yeah. There they are. They are almost done. I need to finish up the video, but otherwise they are almost done and they are really good. They just take a longer to cook down than head cabbage to get nice and soft. Let me get a little piece off of here. Do not throw away your cabbage leaves, guys. This is good stuff. Till next time.